In this video, I'm going to give you 3 real-life examples of what it's actually like to buy a house here in Boise. Now, there are plenty of YouTube videos that talk about the real estate market. This video is going to be different. I'm actually going to walk you through the numbers of 3 different houses that clients of mine recently purchased with me. And at the end of the video, I have a big announcement to make, and it's one that may affect you, so be sure to stick around till the end. So the first example comes from a home that my buyers purchased in Southeast Boise. Now, Southeast Boise is a very desirable neighborhood, so I knew that there would be a lot of competition on this house. We looked for several months, pretty much every weekend, going out maybe a couple days per week, and finally a house came up that was 1,570 square feet, and it was listed at $450,000. So what we did is we ended up offering $501,000 out of the gate, but we also added an escalation clause up to $518,000, meaning that the buyers were willing to pay $2,500 over the next highest bid, escalating up to $518,000. We also totally waived the inspection, and we waived the appraisal contingency. What that means is that in the event that an appraisal came in low, the buyers were willing to make up the difference between the appraisal price and the agreed upon purchase price in the contract. And then finally, we also added a 1-month rent back to the sellers for free. So that's a very competitive offer, but it wasn't competitive enough. There were actually several offers that were higher than ours. We offered $51,000 more than list price. And we ended up submitting another addendum, raising the escalation to $526,500. In the end, there were other bids that were slightly higher than ours, but because our offer had slightly better terms, they ended up accepting our offer. Now, I told my buyers that we were $75,000 over the asking price, actually $76,500. And in doing some research, I told them that I think the house would probably appraise at $475,000. Now, because they were financing their home, they were going to put 25% down, I told them that the lender is only going to give them 75% of the appraised value of the house. And because we had waived the appraisal contingency, they needed to be prepared to make up the difference between the appraisal value and the contract price in cash. So when the appraisal came in several weeks later, it came in spot on. It came in at $475,000. Now, because they were aware of what the situation probably would be, they were perfectly happy to do that, and it ended up being a win-win for everybody involved in the transaction. The second example I have for you is totally different. My buyers were from out of state, and they cast their net very broadly. They were willing pretty much to relocate to anywhere. So I drove all around the Treasure Valley, from Boise to Nampa to Caldwell to Weiler to Greenleaf for about 3 months, probably 3 or 4 times a week. And I did lots of virtual tours. So they ended up getting a house in Nampa. Now, the same weekend that we made the offer on the house in Nampa, I made an offer for them on 4 different houses. And I put a clause in each one of those offers saying that my client is putting offers on multiple houses, so whoever responds first gets the deal. So in the end, the house that they got the offer accepted on was a 1,480 square foot home, 4 bedrooms plus an office, 1/4 acre. Now, it was listed at $375,000. My clients offered $385,000. We also put in a clause in the offer that said that they were willing to pay $10,000 over the appraised value of the house. And we made the earnest money non-refundable, but we still chose to do an inspection. Now, when I was talking with my clients about the earnest money and making it non-refundable, I told them that that could potentially put them at a disadvantage, because when it comes to inspections, the seller might think, I don't have to agree to any inspections, I don't have to agree to any repairs. What is this? Is the buyer going to walk and leave his $3,000 earnest money with me? So I explained this to my client, but what I discovered during this transaction is by the time we got to the inspection, it was in everybody's best interest to close on the deal. The seller had already begun to make plans for the next house that they were moving to. The buyer wanted to close on the house. So when the inspector came in and highlighted some things that needed to be repaired, we were able to give the seller a list of repairs, and in the end they ended up crediting us $3,500 for some of the repairs that needed to be made on the house. The appraisal came in at $373,000. So we lowered the purchase price to $383,000 according to the contract. But some issues had also come up in the transaction, so I was able to lower the price even more down to $378,900. So in the end, my clients ended up paying only $5,000 more than the appraisal price, and they were able to get a $3,500 credit towards making repairs on the house, which all of that combined in this market was a really good deal for my buyers. Now before I get to my third example, let me say that my name is Benj Foreman. I work for Triple Cord Real Estate, and on this channel I talk about the Boise housing market, but also all kinds of other things related to living here in the Treasure Valley. So if you're not a subscriber yet, hit that red button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Now the third example is also very different from the other two. It comes from a property out in Middleton. Also went out pretty much every weekend. We looked at probably 30 different homes, made I think 4 other offers that didn't get accepted. But this property actually made it through the weekend without any offers. It was a 2,538 square foot home, 4-bed, 2.5 bath with 1/3 of an acre. And it was listed at $500,000. So we saw this house on Monday. I called up the agent, and the listing agent said that they didn't have any offers on the property yet, which to me signaled that the seller would probably be happy to get any offer. So I told my clients, what if you offered full price? And we were just about to do that, but then the agent told me that she thought that another offer was on the way. So just in order to be safe and to make it clear to the sellers that my buyers were really serious about this home, they ended up offering $505,000. But we didn't do anything with the appraisal or with the inspection. We just left it normal. The only extra thing that we added was a 1-month rent back for free. So the sellers ended up accepting my client's offer. And when we had the inspector come in, the inspection came back perfect. There was nothing wrong with this house. The inspector said that this was the cleanest house that he had inspected all year. It was built in 2020, it's a CBH home, and the only thing he could point to was a loose hinge on a cabinet door in the kitchen. Now this home is actually still in escrow, hasn't closed yet, but I'm very confident that the appraisal will come in at value, and I'm sure that they are going to love this property. And now for my big announcement. It's no secret this past year has been crazy in many different ways. So I've been thinking, what can I do to play my little part to maybe help make life a little bit better for people? And what I've decided to do is donate 1% of all of my commissions this year to a charity. It could be a local charity, it could be a nonprofit, doesn't necessarily have to be local. But I also want my buyers to be involved in this as well. So that's how it could affect you. If you happen to work with me this year, you'll have a say in where that 1% of my commission goes to. Now, I'm not going to support a charity or a nonprofit organization that promotes values that I don't believe in. So what I'm doing right now is I'm compiling a list of charities, and at closing, I'll give that list to my buyers, and they can choose where that 1% of my commission goes to. So I'm also asking you to give me some ideas. Do you know of some charities or some nonprofit organizations that I should check out? Let me know down in the comments below. I promise that if you put those in the comments below, I will check them out. If you need help finding a home, or even to just talk about what life is like here in the Treasure Valley, feel free to reach out to me. My number's on the screen here. You can send me a text or shoot me an email. That's down in the description box below. I love chatting with people that say, hey, I saw you on YouTube. I look forward to chatting with you and seeing how I might be able to help you make Idaho your home.